Can I ask you just about the situation in Russia and with Chelsea and everything that's going on there? What is your view of what is happening at the moment with English football and what is happening in Ukraine and the impact that that's having on events here?
Well, to be honest, everybody, I think, shares the same opinion that this is a tragedy, what's happening over there, and that everybody can only say fingers crossed that they find somehow a peaceful solution once again, and that it affects with all the measures that have been taken recently politically in with regard to economy or whatever, that it also affects now the football business in a way seems to be logical to me. But again, I don't have enough inside information to speak about that. What's, for example, now happening at Chelsea. If you look at it in a bigger picture, for me, it's just a human tragedy, and I very, very much hope that in the next days, weeks, that they can find a peaceful solution.
As somebody who works for a football club, a manager's going to have to think about the clubs that they work for and the background of the clubs that they work for before they go and work for them, because obviously Thomas Tuchel is now in a position of having to answer numerous questions about the behaviour of the owners at Chelsea. Other managers have had to do that before. Is that something that people are going to have to do? You worked in Russia, for instance. How does that work?
Had anyone in this room or wherever, could anybody foresee what was happening there in the last 3-4 weeks? Nobody would have expected that to happen. And therefore, I think we should be very careful to blame somebody for doing this or that. This couldn't have been foreseen, and Roman Abramovich has been the owner, and not only at Chelsea, also at Arsenal or at Everton. There were some ownership shares by Russian oligarchs. So this is not the only club, and of course it affects everything. It affects football. It affects the way that gas or oil is being delivered to European countries. It will, in the end, it affects everybody. Right now, here in England or in Germany or in other European countries, although we are only 2.5 hours away from the Ukraine, it doesn't affect us as yet directly. But I would be surprised if in the next couple of weeks and months, suppose the war goes on, it wouldn't affect us all at one stage.
On the game tomorrow, how big is it, in your opinion, in the Premier League season? And the 4 players that missed last weekend, will they be available?
We are fully aware about the importance of tomorrow's game, at the same time the game on Tuesday, but now the most important game is the game tomorrow against Tottenham. We have to win that game. We are fully aware of that, and we had a good week of training. The players are also fully aware about the importance of the game. The focus is there. The togetherness was there in the training sessions. So, with regard to players, we will still miss out Luke Shaw. He's until yesterday still been tested positive with COVID, and Scotty is a question mark. He had some problems with his calf, so we have to wait and see until today after training. But right now, I think he's. It's more likely that he will not be available, because if we risk him tomorrow, he will more likely be out for the game on Tuesday again, and that's why I tend, with some muscular issues, even more so if it's the calf muscle, I tend to be careful.
It sounds like then Cristiano will be back. There's been a lot of talk about him this week, his situation at the club. Is there any issues there? How's he been? Is he fully fit?
Yeah, he resumed for training yesterday. He trained the whole training session, and I expect him to be in training today as well. He trained well, like the rest of the group. So I would have thought that he's available for tomorrow.
Is there any issues with him?
No. Issues? What do you mean issues?
Just lots of talk about happiness and as well as fitness and everything.
I don't know. I haven't asked him if he's happy at Manchester and at this club. For me, it's important that he's fit again and that he resumed for training yesterday. And then we will see with which formation and with which lineup we are going to play the game tomorrow.
Ralf, can I just follow up on Cristiano? There were some suggestions that the club or yourself weren't necessarily aware he was going to go back to Portugal. Can you just clarify the situation there, what happened?
No, because it doesn't make sense to look back what was happening in the last 6 or 7 days. For me, it's important what's happening today and tomorrow, and for me, it doesn't make sense at all to go through all this again. Important is that he and Eddie, by the way, are both back in training and that they're both available for the game tomorrow.
And can I ask about Marcus Rashford as well? I mean, he would have been disappointed, I'm sure, not to start against Manchester City. What does he have to do to get his place back in your side?
To play on the same level that he trains. This is all. I mean, we've spoken about that a week ago or 2 weeks ago in the press conference. Marcus is training well. He's got abundant talent. He's got almost everything that you need as a modern striker. And for him, it's only about transforming the performance of the training sessions into the regular games.
Would you accept that Arsenal are now favourites for fourth place with their 2 games in hand and the current form, and that you're playing catch up a little bit?
Yeah, but not only us. The same is true with 2 or 3 other clubs. Right now, they seem to be in the best possible position, but still 10 games to play. So we are fully aware that we have to look after ourselves and make sure that we do not drop any points anymore.